Hi everybody, I am PeterLalic chess player PeterLalic, welcoming you to video lecture number 14 in our Chess Endgame course. In this video I would like to look at same colour bishop endings in which the attacker, let us presume this is white, has an extra pawn. These are relatively common and generally they hold good winning chances so long as the attacking pawn is near its queening square. One must note that there is a defensive mechanism if the pawn is not so far advanced. Also, in the following lectures I would like to look at this same ending except with the pawn on, let us say, the c file or the f file, that is the bishop's pawn. So let's get cracking. First I'll show you two easy examples to understand, and these show why it's so easy to make the defender really sweat here. So with white to play, there is the excellent move bishop f2. This introduces the deflection theme when we look at such endgames. The point is that very simply, in this position we threaten to queen, so this square must be controlled by the bishop. But after bishop f2, it can no longer control this, so it must take. And then very simply, we queen on b8. And now let me show you another example. This is the idea of, after bishop b8, taking away the diagonal. It's very instructive. After moving the bishop here, black's bishop must go away from this ideal diagonal. And after bishop g1, we play bishop g3. Very simple. Now that we control this key diagonal with our bishop, we threaten to promote. And so long as we have our king on a8, then there's no chance of bishop a7. So this is game over. So putting all those themes together, we look at a more complicated example. This is slightly more difficult because of the excellent positioning of the black king. This means that bishop c8, c7 is out of the question because of bishop takes c7, and so white must execute a very clever and intricate maneuver instead. This begins with bishop h4. Now, doesn't seem to be much going on, but the point is that white threatens to play bishop f2 to a7, and then there is the threat of bishop to b8. Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that, and still we need to stop the black bishop from going to a7 and being a solid piece there. So king b6. Now bishop f2 check. Point is that after king a6 we can play bishop c5. Bishop g3, bishop e7, king b6, bishop d8 check. Now it's not hard to see that king a6 would fall to bishop c7. For that reason king c6 is forced. It might seem as though white are wasting time here just repeating moves, but there is an ulterior motive. And this is it, bishop h4. Obviously bishop takes h4, loses to the deflection sacrifice, which aids promotion. And bishop h2 is the only real move that remains. After bishop f2, we see that now that we've forced the king to c6, it cannot rush over to a6 in order to control this point. So after king b5 we can indeed reach the crucial square at a7. King a6, bishop b8, bishop h2, and now bishop g3. We threaten to queen, and then after bishop a7, I'll test you here, Can you guess the move based on our other previous example which I showed you on deflection? Bishop f2, brilliant move. Very simply, white gets promote because black has been forced to give way. So we've seen examples in which white wins. Now let's look at an example in which white, acting as the defender, has to draw this position. And we note one crucial difference. Sure, it is still a knight's pawn, on the b file, with black coming down here, but the pawn is on only b4. That is, from black's perspective, the 5th rank, whereas before the attacker had the pawn on the 7th rank. This makes a big difference, and we'll see why. White can implement the rear defense. King d6 attacks the bishop, and after bishop e4, well, this isn't the main variation, then king c5 should be enough, because bishop c2 obviously just draws the game, since white is close enough to the attacking pawn to attack it. Going back, instead bishop b3 is played, and now obviously we cannot exchange bishops and enter the losing king and pawn ending, so we play to g4. And after king b2, white attacks again with king c5. After king a3, king b6 is sufficient, so that after bishop f7 we can play bishop d1. This is important. We need to be able to defend the crucial b3 square from either d1 or a place like e6. So long as we have at least one diagonal on which to control this, then we should be fine. Bishop e8, king a5, bishop f7, bishop c2, still b3 can just be taken. So bishop b3 is played, and then bishop f5. We see the problem is, if black wants to combat the white bishop along this diagonal, then he's forced to block the pawn and go to b3. So very simply cannot make any progress, and eventually he gives up after these repeating moves. There we have it. That's hopefully a decent short summary on the bishop endgame, bishops of same colour, squares with an extra pawn. Thank you very much. This is PeterLalic signing off, saying good luck with the chess and good luck with bishop and pawn endgames.